Welcome. We're so glad that you're joining us today. We're looking to spend about 30 minutes with you. Our goal is that you have a better understanding of what Love My Library is and how it can benefit both you and your community. Love My Library is brought to you by the most successful fundraising company in the industry. This fundraiser is donation-based and it creates the perfect combination of booster-thon and book fairs. So here's our agenda for this demo. We're going to talk about why the Love My Library concept was introduced and developed. We're going to do a really high-level description of what Love My Library is. We're going to talk about the student benefits, the library benefits, the profit options to both you and the student, how we support you, and we'll do a quick demo at the very end. Of course, we'll share all the ways we support your success. So why Love My Library? Our mission statement is very important to us, and I'm going to read it just so that you have a good idea of what it is. Love My Library is an effortless fundraiser that maximizes rewards, expands classroom, home, and public libraries without limits to inspire global literacy. We understand that your school year and its normal events and activities may look and feel very different moving forward. We created a fundraising program that is safe, completely effortless, where you can maximize all of the funds that you need. Regardless of COVID protocols or restrictions in your district, we can still meet your needs. Again, you're going to hear without limits quite a few times throughout this presentation. So exactly what is Love My Library? It's the most rewarding literacy-based fundraiser that a librarian can use with little to no effort. It's a donation-based platform that combines the best elements of a booster-thon-like event and a book fair to give you the best literacy-based fundraising option. Once you sign up, students can create a donation page and a wish list of their favorite books to send out to family, friends, neighbors, whoever, asking them to help your library. In return, students get the credits used towards their wish list with every donation received. In addition, students get a free book option just for participating. So where do we get our books from? We use one of the largest book distributors, which is Ingram. They have over 3 million books in print. Over 300,000 of those are library-bound and hardcover books, and we feature most new releases, bestseller series, and popular authors. We're excited to walk through the collection with you when we do our demo. Something to note is we will still be working with additional vendors in the future. Our goal is that this will be your one-stop shop. So when you see this slide, I want you to kind of take a look. We know that book fairs is something that you know. So we're not necessarily comparing us to book fairs, but we wanted to show you kind of the differences between Love My Library and book fairs. With Love My Library, all kids get a free book if they participate. Most in-print titles are available. The librarian keeps 80% of the revenue, and it requires no volunteers. And we know that that is really a big thing, especially with COVID, because many volunteers are not allowed inside the schools. You do not have to handle cash or checks, and I'm sure your bookkeepers will be very happy about that. It is a completely virtual event. That means that everyone can participate, and that means even students that are home quarantined or anything else. We welcome all schools. We do not discourage any small schools. We want anyone who wants to participate. And there is no minimum for cash profit. That's very big. We know that in most other fundraisers, such as book fairs, there is a minimum for cash profit. So schools are reaching out looking for alternative ways to earn these funds to replace their book fairs for a variety of reasons. Now, who can host a Love My Library event? Really anyone. If you take a look, we do preschools, elementary schools, and not noted on here, but we certainly will do high schools as well. They can be public, private, charter schools, Title I schools, it doesn't matter. Anyone can host a Love My Library event. So our profit structure is twofold. So the first part we're going to talk about is the student benefit. Students earn one free book buck for every $10 in donations that they receive. Book bucks can then be redeemed in the reader store that families and students can access from their dashboard. A nice feature that the students will be able to take advantage of in the dashboard is their wish list feature. This will show and highlight some of the titles that the student wants to gain as a result of the fundraiser. It's really nice because whoever is donating on behalf of the child can see this as well. One of my favorite parts of this whole Love My Library is that every child that participates receives a free book. It really is as easy as 1, 2, 3. So when they go into their dashboard, they're going to register. They're going to send 10 emails to their family and friends, and they're going to post on Facebook. All that is done right from the student's dashboard and with the parents' help. We make it super easy too, because we send you these flyers that you can distribute to the students. It'll have the school's name on it and the code for them to be able to get into their fundraiser and create their dashboard. So next we're going to talk about the library benefits. How does this benefit the library the most? This fundraiser really takes no effort to promote. It's a safe virtual event where everyone can participate. If you have students in person, hybrid, at home, they all have a chance to earn that free book. Your family and other school community members can be involved as well. And this fundraiser is literacy based. Love My Library has by far the most competitive reward options in the fundraising industry. So Depot dollars are the currency for our online store. They are dollar for dollar with retail prices. Remember when we talked about those 3 million titles? You'll find that we don't ridiculously inflate our prices. Let's talk about profits. You can expect to earn 80% in Depot dollars or take 60% of your Depot dollars and take that in cash. You can also split it, and there are no minimums to take cash. So let's look at an example. Maybe your school raises $2,500. Multiply that by 80%, and that's $2,000 in Depot dollars. Or you can multiply that $2,000 by 60%, and that's $1,200 in cash. When you think about past fundraisers such as book fairs, would you have ever thought that if you made $2,500 that you could walk away with $1,200 in cash? That's amazing. Realistically, how much can you raise? Let's walk through a couple of different scenarios. This particular scenario talks about participation. Obviously, the more students that you get to participate, the higher your earnings are. So for this one, we looked at an average enrollment of 350 students. At just 30% of participation, that puts us at 105 students, and we went with 5 sponsors with an average donation of $25. That puts you at $10,500 in Depot dollars earned and $6,300 in cash if you chose to take cash. Now let's go to 75% participation. You got a ton of students to participate in this. That's 263 students participating. You would earn $26,300 Depot dollars or $15,780 in cash. That's amazing as well. Now here's another perspective. This example looks exactly the same, except for that we're going to change the number of sponsors and keep the participation rate at 30%. So obviously, the more sponsors that a child gets, the more money your school raises. So let's add, and instead of doing 5 sponsors, let's make it 15. So we keep it at 30% participation with 15 sponsors, and that's $31,500 in Depot dollars or almost $19,000 in cash. Think about that. Dream a little and see kind of what you would do with your library if you had $19,000 in cash to spend on whatever you wanted. What would that be? So we provide you everything you need to communicate with your parents and have a successful event and raise the most funds. It really is a turnkey fundraiser. So let our virtual platform do all the work for you. Think about how often you are on your phone or your mobile device or your computer. Well, so are your sponsors and donors. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are all really popular. We know students and adults spend hours on social media. Even older adults and seniors do. This really is one of the most successful ways to reach out to your audience. And don't forget to send out your unique code so that they can get on to your platform. Post on your school and library website too. Community members are always looking for the most updated information there. And don't forget your parent communication apps like Class Dojo, Parent Square, Class Tag. Those are great ways to communicate all of this to the parents. And next, don't forget email. We know students are on email 5 hours a day, and adults read over 620 emails in 1 week. Even seniors are accessing and reading content via email. We have simple, concise messages for you to send weekly or daily reminders with one click of a button, and Billy will show that to you in our demo. And remember when we talked about Without Limits? This really is one of the biggest differences between us and maybe some of your other fundraisers. Really, you expand your audience with this. The easiest way to earn more is to engage your students, and we want them to reach out to everyone they know. We want them to reach out to family members like grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, friends, whoever. And don't forget about those local community partners. Think about those boutiques, the insurance agents, mortgage brokers, mom and pop shops, churches in the community. All of them want to help your school. And probably one of my other favorite things is we're offering a Disney contest. So every reader that sends 10 text messages through the system, and that's through our dashboard, they're going to be automatically entered and registered into a drawing for an all-expense paid trip to Walt Disney for 4 guests. We're going to have 2 winners a year, one in May and one in December. And hot off the press, we have an incentive for you. So if you have an event that happens before December 31st of 2021, you will be entered into a drawing to win $1,000 worth of books of your choice. So you get to choose whatever books you want. And that is for any events that run anytime before December 31st. So go ahead and sign up now. And I'm going to turn this over to Billy to do the demo.
Thank you, Jessica. Hello, everyone. My name is Billy Dixon. I'm a regional vice president that covers the Mid-Atlantic states. And I'm going to share my screen with you and walk you through a couple of things on this side of it. We intentionally broke down our demo into 2 sections. First, we wanted to give you the nuts and bolts of the program. We wanted to give you the details of what we're all about. The second part, though, is I want to show you the program in action, to show you how easy and simple this program really can be. Everything starts on our homepage, www.lovemylibrary.com. When you are ready to sign up for an event, simply come here, click on Library and sign up, and we make it very easy for you. If you are an event coordinator, you're ready to sign up for an event or looking for more information, simply click on Event Coordinators. Enter the zip code. Once you do that, you'll have the option to find your school. We have most schools loaded into our system already. If you don't see it, it's a very simple process of entering your school into our registry. Once you do that, it will take you through a handful of steps, and it will conclude with you picking the date you want for your event. Once you do that, I'm going to go back. Once you do that, you will be taken immediately into your dashboard. You'll also have the opportunity to set this up with a password so that when you exit your dashboard, it's a simple matter of logging back in. We have created a test account to show you how all of this works. So I'm going to log into that now. You simply come to log in, administrators. Let me enter the password for this. And this takes you straight into your dashboard. The first thing that will pop up is this box. Do you want us to print your materials? Unless you are a paper-free school, I would recommend clicking yes and confirming that. We'll print flyers for every student in your school and ship those to you at no cost. In fact, there is no cost of any element of our program to the school itself. We print these materials, we ship them to you. We also handle the shipping prices for all the books that you order at the end of your event. So for now, though, I'm just going to X out of this box. It will pop up on us again because I always want to be able to demo what this looks like. But I'll close out of that and you'll be able to see your dashboard. Jessica mentioned a unique code to your event. You can find that here. This will be printed on the student flyers, and I will show you in a second how to utilize that, how the students will get themselves set up. You can see in real time the total depot dollars that you've earned and how many you have to spend. We've also provided you with a calendar of messages in this box. If you'll notice, my test event is set to start on December the 6th, and it lasts for 2 weeks. All of our events default to a 2-week runtime. You can adjust that if you need to. But you'll notice that our first suggested message starts on November 22nd. So we want to help you promote your event. We also have a student video that we can send you as well. But these messages, you just click on view, they pop up. You copy and paste into whatever school messenger system that you use. These are also editable. These are just our suggestions, so you can make them say whatever you want them to say. And there are 8 total messages that we have provided for you throughout the course of your event. Anything else that you want to do to promote it and get student engagement can only help you. But at the end of the day, to have a successful event, you're looking at spending about 1 hour total. You can also see that a fundraiser checklist, in this case, all the steps have been followed. If something had not been done, you would be able to click here and complete that step. So you'll know that your fundraiser is ready to go. In this box, as your donations start coming in, you will see your top 5 students by donations. So if you want to make it a good competition within your school or within the individual students, you'll be able to see who's on top. I'll scroll back up and use the menu function. From here, you'll be able to go to your store, to your own donation page. I'm going to click on this. I've just added in my own picture. It's the graphic you saw from earlier, but you can add a logo for your school. You can add a picture of you, a picture of your library, whatever you want to do. But that will go in here. And this is what you can send out to potential donors. If you have friends and family that might like to contribute to your library, by all means, send this out to them, and especially community business partners. That is a great way for you to help contribute to your own events. You can post this, the link to this, on Facebook, or just copy the link and email it out to whoever you would like. Back on your dashboard, you can also see every reader who is signed up. This event is set up by classroom, by teacher. So I put my wife in here and I signed up 3 students. So you can see what this looks like. You can even click on view and you have access to the student's dashboard as well. But I'll get into the student dashboard in just a moment. So we'll go back to your dashboard. Next out of this, you can load up your teachers. You can set this fundraiser up by grade level or by individual teachers. And whichever method you choose, that's how the books will be delivered to you at the end of the event. But by clicking on teachers, you can see that I have 2 signed up here. It's easy to add a teacher. Just click on add, enter their name, their grade, and the number of students in the classroom. The reason we ask for the number of students is that's how we know how many flyers to send. So if you just want to put an average number in there per classroom, that will be fine. And you also have the ability to edit your fundraiser. You can change your photo. We have a little blurb about what the event actually is about. This will show up on the donation page. You can adjust your dates if necessary, or any of your general information about your school, which we call a group, or yourself, your account. You can change that from here as well. Now for the fun part. Let's go into the actual store. Jessica mentioned that we have over 3.2 million titles available. And here is that number. This is an ever-changing number. We are partnered with Ingram, and as they add books to their system, this is a live store. When you refresh your store, any books they've added will show up in here. One thing that I do want to point out is this is the Librarian Depot. This is your store. Therefore, we do have adult books in here. As you'll notice, a lot of times you'll see some political titles. We even have What to Expect When You're Expecting. The students do not see those titles. These are for you. And this is based on Ingram's long-term bestseller list. When we get to the student store, we have that broken down into a more recent bestsellers, and it's also done by grade level. But I will show you that in a moment. Now, 3.2 million titles. That is a lot. Don't be overwhelmed by that number because we have some great sort functions. And one thing is the binding type. I know as a librarian, you're probably not real keen to have paperback books in your library. So we can filter out the paperbacks and leave library bound and hardcover titles. I'll apply this change and you'll see that we have more than 340,000 library bound and hardcover titles for you to choose for your library. If it's something that you want, odds are we have it. But you can also filter this down further. Let's say you want to look as a 5th grader, and let's take off all categories. Let's look at fiction books, apply these changes, and you're going to start to see some titles in here that are going to be much more familiar, things that your kids are used to seeing and that they're going to want. And again, because these are filtered down to hardcover and library bound, these are going to be ideal books for your library. We also have some other search functionality as well, and I'm going to undo what I did here. and show you that the search bar at the top can be very effective as well. If you want to search for a popular author, I know Gordon Corman is very popular. So I'll enter his name. Here are all of Gordon Corman's books, including his newest release, Linked. And another thing that I will point out is the prices are in depot dollars. But it is important to note, as Jessica mentioned earlier, that depot dollars are dollar for dollar with retail. Restart, for example, is a $6.99 paperback. We have it for $7 depot dollars. Linked, his new hardcover release, is $17.99 retail. We have it for $18 depot dollars. There will be an added benefit of this in the student store. I will show you that in just a second. You also have the ability to search by series. I know I Survived is very popular. So click in I Survived. Here are all of those books, including the graphic novel versions. I know those are extremely popular now. So our search functionality is very efficient, very good, and will help you find exactly what you're looking for, but also gives you that ability to see things you may not know you wanted. So at this point, I'm going to go back to the dashboard. I'm going to log out as the librarian, and we're going to talk about logging in as a student now. As I mentioned, on the flyer, that unique code will be printed on there. Students, when they're ready, can come to www.lovemylibrary.com, click on Reader Sign Up, enter their code, and they're off. We have two different means that they can sign up. They can just complete the sign up process right now. That will take 2 or 3 minutes. If they would like to complete their entire version of the program, they are able to do that in about 10 minutes. It'll just be a matter of entering emails and phone numbers and sending out the links to their dashboard and their donation pages. Very simple, quick and easy. Everything they want to do with this program can be completed in about 10 to 15 minutes. But this just the sign up process just walks them through some very basic information. It does give them a chance while signing up to send those emails and to send those texts. But I'm going to skip that part and assume they've already signed up, and we're going to go in and log in as a student. Again, this is from a test account. If I entered that correctly. There we go. We'll come into little Johnny Dixon's test account. He's a student in our test school. And if you'll notice, there's a banner across the top that says only 7 texts left for your chance to win a trip to a Disney theme park. And I want to show you how easy it is to actually send out one of these texts. If you just click on the send button, you enter the name of the person, the phone number, and send text. As soon as you hit send text, the counter will go from 7 to 6, and the last text message you've sent will be added to the bottom of this list. So you'll always be able to keep track of who you texted and who you sent this to. The same thing applies for sending the emails. If you want to send those, I've not sent any of them in my test account, but you just enter the name, the email address, and send, and the same thing happens. And as Jessica mentioned, if you register, send out your 10 emails, and post on your own or a family member's Facebook page, you automatically get a free book buck. And as soon as little Johnny Dixon sends out his next 7 texts, he's going to be entered for the Disney theme park giveaway. The students are also able to see in real time the total number of dollars they've raised as those donations come in, and the total book bucks they have left to spend. We've also included a carousel of best-selling books to give them an idea of what's available. The better place to shop for these is in the store, but this does wet their whistle. It gives them a chance to see some of those bestsellers that are available to them. And remember, little Johnny Dixon is a 5th grader, so he is seeing books that are approved by the publisher recommendations for the 5th grade reading level. The students also have the ability to create their own wish list, and as they order books, they will be able to see the books that they have ordered. Much like on the librarian's dashboard, we have a menu where the student can go immediately to their store there. They can see their donation page. And again, it looks just like the librarians. You'll also have the ability to track who the supporters are who has donated to you. You can edit anything in your account. And again, the fun part is going to the store. There we go. You'll notice one difference when you come into the student store. First of all, this opens up under our bestsellers tab. And since little Johnny Dixon was a 5th grader, he comes to the bestsellers that are good for grades 4 through 6. You will also notice that the books are priced in book bucks. And I mentioned an extra value when we were looking at your store earlier. In the student store, book bucks are discounted from retail. So Dogman Mothering Heights is a $12.99 retail book. We have it for 11 book bucks. So that gives students additional buying power with the book bucks that they've earned. But as you can see, there is a large selection of great titles here that they're absolutely going to love. In fact, there's 58 pages of them. But the students also have the ability to see the store in the same format that you do in the Librarian Depot. The only difference is this is already and automatically filtered to their grade level. Now, students have the ability to see books in other grade levels, but that said, they cannot see the adult titles. And we have also put filters in place to block any word that 5th grade boys or 8th grade boys or anyone in the school should not be looking for. But we know what they like to look for in search boxes, so we have filtered out those words. No title or no book description with one of those words in it will show up in their searches. So we want to make this as safe and secure and appropriate as we can for those students. Other than that, they do have the same sort functions by categories, by price ranges, and they also can use the search bar at the top. Another feature, and it is available in the Librarian Depot and in the Reader Store, are school supplies. We were adamant when we started this that we did not want a lot of the junk and a lot of the useless toys that you might find on a book fair or with another company. But we knew that we did need some school supplies. So we wanted to create a page with some of these items. And some of them, we admit, are kind of novelty-like and fun. For example, the rainbow plush pens. But we wanted to make it to where kids with their free book buck or with other book bucks they've earned are able to get something from our event. So they're able to get pencils, pens, erasers, bookmarks, journals, anything that's school-oriented that has a legitimate purpose and use within the school environment, we have in this portion of the store. So with that said, I'm going to go back to the dashboard. I'm going to log out. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can go back to the last one. Very good. So now we would love for everyone at this point to go to lovemylibrary.com and create your account. And if you're ready, if you have your dates, create your event. We would love to have you on board. We very much look forward to working with you. Jessica, do you want to wrap us up?
Absolutely. So I know we've given you a lot of information to digest, but if you have any questions that did not get answered within the presentation, please don't hesitate to call us at the 1-800 number listed here or go to our website and schedule a call with us. The 800 number is 1-800-682-2240, and our website is www.lovemylibrary.com. And thank you so much for attending this presentation.